Just follow the trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Good evening and welcome back to the Bhoycie bus. You just caught me with a beer in my hand, but I promise you, this is not a party. It's not a party. Honestly, I'm just having a few beers, some nibbles. It's not a party. Anyway, a very good evening to you. Welcome to the first of our what is going to be our Chatman streams that we do on a Wednesday night. Thoroughly looking forward to seeing if we can recreate the outstanding work that Martin O'Neill and the team managed, obviously, back in the early 2000s. So, in the Chatman save, it was... just checking my mic there, it's no too tinny and all that. Oh, this technology, man. Never used to have to worry about all this nonsense, you know what I mean? Yes, so a very good evening to everyone who's watching. We will get stuck in to the save because it's a wee bit of imagination station. Daniel McC is in the return of the rusty one. Yes, mate, good to have you back with me, mate. It's good to see you, Daniel. I'm hoping for some cheeky contributions from yourself as always. Philip DeMarco's in there, just giving it a bit of that. I like that. Dominic O'Donnell says, yes, Bhoycie boy. Well, yes to you as well, Dominic, mate. Thanks for joining us. It'll be a bit of a fun Wednesday night. The Bhoycie bus is coming. The opposition's running. I like that. That works, Daniel. See, he's on form already. So, the big news is the draw's just been made, right? Now, I did a wee run-through of the game last night. Obviously, a wee sort of trial run to see how it would go and things like that. And, it was quite mad because we drew the mob from the other city in the Champions League qualifying playoff. So I've restarted it obviously tonight. So we've got the exact same as what the Celtic squad was. And then I'll be looking for some input from you as to, you know, players we maybe could have signed in that era that we should have looked at. We could also contemplate what your favourite players from the game are, if you're familiar with the legendary game that is Championship Manager 0102. So to kick things off, we play SPFL duty. But first, I think it's most important to refamiliarise yourself with the squad. I think it's time to meet the 0102 squad again. So obviously we're in the back right now of Martin O'Neill, I think Celtic had lost the league by 21 points. He then won it with 97 points, a 15-point gap between second place, something like a 36-point swing or improvement Celtic did from where they were. Swing, that would be the word. And now we were left with a summer where we added some players to the squad that I think certainly helped, certainly in real life anyway. Meet Big Bad John Hartson, who's just joined. It doesn't matter if he's got dodgy knees. It doesn't matter if he's only got one leg, I think Martin O'Neill said. You'll be signing. Don't worry about that. We also added from the SPFL, Momo Silla, who I think is one of those players, when you look at the Seville run more, he'll always go back as being one of the players that was maybe used more than what we thought at the time. Whether he was of the quality or not is another debate. But I still think he featured probably more heavier than what we probably thought he did during it when you watch a lot of the footage back. So there was Momo Silla arrived, and also veteran, well known to Martin O'Neill, Steve Guppy joined. I think O'Neill had him at Leicester City as well before that. So he came in to challenge on the left. Obviously, there's some players there in that squad that you'll be awfully familiar with, and it's quite fun when you play a game like this to reminisce of the quality Celtic used to have. It was a team stacked with players I think we could only dream of trying to attract now. Unfortunately, not because we don't get players of the highest level, but they tend to be sort of rough diamonds when we do. Whereas, maybe Kyogo would be an exception to that right now, 26. But this side, we were just signing guys in the late 20s who were ready out the oven, ready to go. None more so than like Chris Sutton, who's now in his second season with us. We'd signed, obviously, Neil Lennon, who, of course, was 29, I think, when he joined. And, it was a big money move. Ready-made, ready to rock in that O'Neill side. Obviously, we'd signed a Belgian international straight from the Euros, and Jos Valharen as well. What a team it is when you look at it there, eh? Just amazing names. And obviously, we need to look at the King of Kings. Even if you're not familiar with the game, you will see a lot. The attributes go up to 20 for each of these wee attributes you're seeing here. So, there's a lot there in the high teens from Henrik and a few 20s as well. He's a top player. Only need to look at his previous season. He'd obviously scored 53 goals, all competitions, 35 and 37 in the league. Michael McDonald comes in with a wee bit of knowledge already. There's only one Bobby Petter. He was shite, now he's better. He went to Mass and now he's class, walking in a Celtic wonderland. It's quite amazing because you realise when you play this, the success of the 2000-2001 season for Bobby Petter, because he is extremely highly rated in this game. And he is certainly going to be featuring probably ahead of Alan Thompson for me. I know that sounds bad, but he may well be. You've got Dominic saying DJ Bobby P. I do hear he's DJing at the open goal event at the Hydro, which I am intending to attend. Easy for me to say. Right, the reserves. There might be some names here that you're familiar with. Obviously, Sean Maloney, who I think right now has still got Chris Boyd in his back pocket. That was, if it weren't so funny, that would be embarrassing, watching Sean Maloney's ability to string a sentence together, whilst Chris Boyd, simply just can't or won't. That was good fun having him. So he's going to get promoted to the seniors. What about this name? Here's a wee name, a blast from the past. We've got Morten Vikost. Now, Vikost was a player who I think had bags of ability, even for a big lad. He had bags of ability, man. He was a quality player. Lil Z, whose Twitter page I love, because bang on midnight every night on Twitter, he puts up highlights from games on this date. And it was brilliant to watch a chip from Morten Vikost just the other night, which I'd completely forgotten about. I can't remember the opposition, but outrageous from outside the box. We'll probably sell him just by the fact he's 30, approaching 31, and, money's too tight to mention sometimes. And we've got Europe to conquer. Coming in the comments, Soph Scots. By God, did we have some horrific goalkeepers. It's hard to argue with that. We had some childhood prodigies as well. Mark Fotheringham, he's looking good already. Wonder if we can make room for him in the first team squad at some point throughout the save. You never know. Philip DeMarco is saying, sign the left back. I think it's Razvan Rat was his name from Shakhtar. I'm not convinced he's in this version of the game, but we will look it up for you. Don't you worry. On top of that, I mean, a lot of players here, remember Johnny Gould? He was number 1 for years, wasn't he? See if we can get £1 million for him. That'd be all right. Stephen Craney, highly rated at one point as well. Oh, it's all these players that they bring back total nostalgia, don't they? When you see all these names. Jamie Smith, another one, featured relatively heavily in the old Seville run as well. Daniel, Bhoycie, will you be bringing some sort of music show to the channel? I still think you made that other music show we won't talk about. Well, mate, thank you for saying that. I think they know a bit more about the music and more of that age group. I'll certainly be on the end of Double Doon, though. I'll be featuring, the plan is to feature an unsigned act at the end. I'll feature a single with their permission, of course, to play out the show. I'll maybe spend 5-10 minutes talking about it, making a wee comparison as to what I think they sound like. And then, I'll put a wee link up for you to sort of go check it out yourself if you like what you hear. I think that'd be a fair way to do it. Sometimes talking about music at length when you can't actually hear it can be quite tricky. Although, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed doing that sort of thing, mate. It was all right. But yeah, I mean, eventually when you're doing, all of that, as well as all the other shows that you're involved in as well, it can be a wee bit, getting milked a wee bit, Paul Shields, Bonnie Rig Rose, legend, love it. Andy Lynch's son. Yep, Simon scored 40 goals in one season for you, playing Champo. Champo, obviously referring to this game, Championship Manager. That's quite interesting. Colin Healy, I tell you what, we would take money in that sort of region for him. Obviously, remember, we're going back 20 years here. 20 years exactly we're going back to, and it's funny with the money. So Feed's not feeling particularly well. He's got COVID. Best wishes to you, bud. I hope you're feeling better soon. It's no stopped you coming on the YouTube tonight to show a bit of support to the Bhoycie bus, mate. Don't worry, we've got a bed at the back of the Bhoycie bus for you. Don't you worry, mate. We'll look after you. It's all good. But seriously, I do hope you get better soon. I just want to say a wee shout as well. Just one of the people who watched the show, maybe from afar, not as public on Twitter and stuff, but sent some really nice messages. Paul McFarlane, he's got a family situation going on. I don't like going into it too much, but my thoughts and prayers are with you and your mum, mate. And, it was a measure of the man to be kind enough to send me a message wishing me good luck for tonight when he's going through what he is. As I say, I don't want to divulge too much into that, but best wishes. Alf's joined us. Very good evening, mate. Superb. Robert Laidlaw's in. Kirky Oz is in. Liam Collo. I miss the old reserves football. Well, I think a lot of players do, and I think we speak about pathways and stuff for the younger players at Celtic, and I think it's a relative point, isn't it? That was the reserve football. Was it actually helping us? Helping get younger players into the team. Although I still think Celtic fans are quite harsh. I still think we do produce more young players in the team. I mean, I know McGregor and Forrest are nearing the end of the 30s, but you've seen opportunities for Montgomery this season. Mikey Johnson's been given an awfully fair crack at the whip in recent seasons as well. You've seen the introduction of Welsh over the last couple of seasons. I still think we are trying down that road. Even Hazard came in the team last year in goals, but I think by that point it was a case of literally pinning the tail on the donkey when it was handing out the goalie jersey last season. Now, has anyone got any transfer ideas, or what do you think that squad's lacking in? Get involved in the comments as always. That's what we like to have. But where did Celtic need to strengthen in real life back then is a conversation I'm looking to have as well, as I think it's a fascinating one. For all the success that team had, we all probably are in agreement that they came up just a wee bit short against Porto. And I think the goalkeeper point that Robert Laidlaw's just made there is going to become a common theme for, Rab is highly rated in this game, I think, in Championship Manager terms. But I certainly think that that was an area we could have probably improved on. In comes CMO102 Legends. Give him a follow on Twitter if you're keen on the game. He's got about 20,000 followers. You'd be amazed how much of a cult following this game still has. Before we look at transfer targets, right, we have actually got the small business of SPL duty already, such as the early start that we seem to do in Scotland. 28th of July and the season's already kicking off. And it's a tricky one that mirrors what Martin O'Neill's was the season before. We've got to go to Tannadice on the opening day of the season. I'm sure that's right. It is, isn't it? I think it is. I think it is. We'll say it is. We'll say it is. And I think this one could be quite interesting. Because obviously I've not made any signings yet. I want to wait on you guys' input and we can have a look. Alfred says Porto were divers, boys. Say they were, but they still put 3 goals by us, not by diving. You know, I thought they were a wee bit more streetwise than us towards the end. I'm not selling the king, Philip, mate. No way. Is this Championship Manager 03? It's 0102, Higgy boy. Hopefully the clue was in the title. I thought I'd put it in. If I've not, apologies. Look at Tom Boyd still rocking there, 36. He still looks like he could do a job. Neil Yellen comes in, CM on the rocks as he's known. He says, announce Scally. Yeah, I think we'll have a look at Neil Scally at Ayr United. He's a player in this. Feed the Bear, we had some team under renewal. I think that's amazing, when you look back at some of the names. Paul Lambert, Champions League winner, joined us when he was, 27, 28. Outrageous. But anyway, here's the tactics I've went for now. I know they won't be popular, but I think they'll do as well. I've had a bit of success with them before, right? We're looking at 2 at the back. Now, are you not entertained? That's what we're going to be saying at the end of these streams. Are you not entertained? We're going to go for some real pace on wide left and wide right. Obviously, Didier Gats. Funnily enough, a 20 for acceleration, a 20 for pace, 20 for work rate. All makes sense to me. Hi, Russell, pal. Hail, hail. Yes, Alex, mate. Good to have you with us, buddy. Nice one. And was this around the time James McFadden made his breakthrough at Motherwell? I think that's true. I think what we'll do is we'll bring Lambert in. We'll go Petrov, Lambert, Lennon. And then, what, you all up for playing Lubo? He's 36 now. I think we'll play Lubo. In fact, why I'm asking, I'm going to do what I want anyway. Alan Thompson I'll have on the bench. Again, I think just being shaded right now, believe it or not, by Bobby Petter. You know, we know how it went the other way. Will Russell Ball be better than Ange Ball? This is, in a way, it is a dot for the cap too. The madness that is known, or was known, shall we say, in the first third of the season as Ange Ball. Brendan Henry says, get Shearer. Classic Celtic signing in this game. But we went for Shearer, and he's I'll let you guys finish off the rest of that one. I don't think people understood just how good they were at the time. I think that's fair comment, Daniel. I think you look back at that team and go, wow, bona fide international players at the peak of their powers, all at the same time. It was a great, great time to be a Celtic fan. It was in my early teens as well. It was magic going into high school every weekend, really. And to be fair, across the city, they weren't bad either. They weren't bad. Not as good as us, but they weren't bad. It made for good competition. Stephen Thompson says, got to play Thompson. It's funny you've spelt his name the same way as yours. But I think we're going to go for the first match. Who's up for this? Captain Lambo. If anyone wants to be look, we're going all out attack. We're going to do some short passing, hard tackling. We're going to press as well. Tannadice doesn't know it's about to hit it. If you've ever seen the game format, it's quite straightforward. Sound effects going off here. I don't know if you can hear the crowd noises. I meant to turn them off. Here we go. Tannadice. It's all 28 people watching right now. Yes, superb. Not bad for a 20-year-old game and a dafty behind the wheel. Just winning the opening day. Winning the opening day, Bhoycie. Contact. He knows the city and he's a Celtic man. Boys, he's got this. That's the thing. I'll just be like, look, guys, I get it. I get it. I know you've got to win every game at Celtic. All those old cliches. Oh, that is the worst start we could ever have had. Take that off. Should we give Lubo a free roll? Make him the playmaker. Right, that'll do. Oof, Douglas keeping us in the game so far. I don't believe it. Can you hear the sound effects, by the way, the crowd noises? I don't know if you can or not, but it's a wee bit of theatre, I suppose. It doesn't seem overly loud. If it is, tell me and I'll just take it off. Sign Maxim Sigalko, Russell, absolute goal machine. On Stephen Thompson, of all people. Oh my God. I'm meant to be good at this game. I've not played it in a while. I've been playing the modern version. Maybe overcomplicating it. Let's go like that. Go attacking again. No, you can't hear crowd noise. Must just be me. Superb, that's fine. I've got the ambient sounds of Tannadice in my headphones right now, so that's all good. I'm all for the unregulated madness. This is why I was over the moon to hear you started your own channel. Daniel, it's not the news I'm trying to bring you, mate. You know, that's the best way. You know, it's like, let's have a wee bit of a carry on as well, you know. Life's too shorty. It's only a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. Alan Thompson, not his favourite position. We're going to bring him in on the left. Wee bit of dig. I might need to go more forward thinking here, you know. We'll try like this for now. Oh dear, I'm flapping already. Come on, guys. Russ, I don't know what you're playing, by the way. Feed the Bear. It's an old game called Championship Manager. It's 20 years old, believe it or not. And it is bizarrely still got a huge cult following. And it's a bit of fun for the nostalgia trip, getting the old Celtic squads up on the screen and talking about yesteryear and obviously trying to replicate the success that they all had. This is turning into a disaster. I don't make me look like scoring. I need to do something drastic. Get Momo still on the part. Why not? That'll do. I like this. I like this. Check you have a physio, says CMO 102 Legends. John Underhill, the SFA have corrupted your computer. So it's a defeat on the first day of the season. Not quite what we're looking for, but I mean, we battered them, guys. Look at that. 17 shots on goal. All right, you've got no idea. Feed the Bear. I never meant the game, Russ. So just to recap, Feed the Bear says, I don't know what you're playing with. I don't know what that means, mate. I hope he's talking about the game. Right. What are we going to do? Get Guppy on. Two big fellas up top waiting on Guppy's quality balls. Maybe Bhoycie isn't good enough. Bhoycie must go. Banners at the ready. These are a tough bunch to please. Look at that. That was Ange ball. We just weren't putting the ball in the back of the net. Henrik was off after 25 minutes. Give us a chance. Right. Signings. I'm going to bring a guy back to Celtic. Right. And it was, I don't know how many of you will remember this young guy. Mark Anthony. But I'm sure he started his career. He did. Celtic. He's a bit of a baller in this game, believe it or not. I know he's unspectacular, and fans might be now even more questioning what it is, I know. But, you know, you might be surprised. And just safe in his job. If I recall, he lost his first game of the season as well. And he certainly never had Henrik Larsson took off after 25 minutes. Right, there's another guy we'll bring in to help the midfield. This guy. Again, he looks terrible, but you just going to need to trust the process. Is that not what you get to say? Trust the process, guys. I'll do a bit of this. Trust the process, man. The bus is running on red diesel, better than running on Vin Diesel. A wee warning from the board incoming. They better not bother. I'm not getting a warning yet. If we were able to get Robbie Keane, that would be outstanding. Alex says I'll be fine. He's keeping the faith. And then the old classic Mark Kerr. Of course, Mark Kerr played till he was about 40 in real life. I think he made a career on the back of his reputation on this game. We should get him on one night. That'd be quite fun, wouldn't it? See if we come on for a wee blether. I think it's possible we could arrange that, isn't it? It's not beyond the realms of nothing's beyond the realms of possibility on the Bhoycie bus. Soph Scots wants a silent protest. Well, the game is tomorrow. And it is interesting that there's talk of that, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to make this too topical. She'll meant to just be having fun with the old the Bhoycie bus, but I wonder what people are making of the silent process, if the silent protest, if they're in favour of it or not. I think it's a funny one to try and gauge. HTC King, the board must back Russell and not fall asleep at the wheel. This is important. I hope someone can screenshot this. See, I've got Celtic already running in the green financially, and we already know that the board aren't giving me the funds. I'm having to sign guys for a couple of £100,000. Alistair Jack, what have I missed? You've missed the defeat at Tannadice, and a couple of fans booing and things like that. But don't worry, Alistair, I'm going to win them round. I'm going to run them round. Treble West, I bet he's already gone somewhere. He's went to Independiente. I didn't want to sign anyone before we went live on the stream. I was trying to be sound, but don't worry, there's always ways round it. If we can't get him, we'll bring in I think a left-sided centre-back would be good, though, to partner Valharin or Baldi on the right-hand side of it, because I probably will do. The board will ignore the protest, says Alfred. I hope he's talking about the protest at me and not the silent one tomorrow, because I just feel that situation tomorrow's beginning to come to a head now. And I think, it wouldn't do the board any harm and just not appointing someone that everyone's so against, Hail, hail, boys. What's the crack? We're back. Welcome to 2001, Kieran. You've just caught the bus at the right time. We've drove the Bhoycie bus to 2001, and we are taking over from Martin O'Neill, who in one season won a treble and got us into the playoff round of the Champions League qualifiers, which was still to navigate. And we are going to try and replicate the success that Martin O'Neill's team had in Europe. We'll be doing this on Wednesday nights. I might jump on every now and then and just stream it for the crack if I'm bored. I don't see any big deal with that. I'll give you a wee bit of notice if I'm planning on doing so. Dortmund have bid for Henrik Larsson. What would we take for Henrik? How long's his injury? A few days, dead leg. Would we do? No, I'm not doing it. It's Henrik Larsson. He's pleased he's signed his new contract. Now, I think the save, we need to have Henrik Larsson. Alfred's saying tomorrow, Russell, might not be able to do that. Assistant managers and coaches need addressed. Well, I think that's true. And there's quite a lot of good ones that we could bring in. So let's do that. So I've not streamed chat, man, trying to juggle the comments and all that myself in ages. This has been a long time. This is the day, says Douglas Hughes. Yes, mate. Yeah, you can't sell him, says Contour. I think I flirted with the idea for about 30 seconds there. Raising the fee, but I'm not entering into negotiations with it. John Robertson looks a good assistant manager. Kenny McDowell looks bang average. Steve Walford looks all right. Tommy Burns is staying no matter what. Willie McStay might be a Celtic legend, mate, but you can go hopeless in this game. Let's get some decent coaches in. It's a bit boring, all this bit, isn't it? But we do need to have... We need to give as good an account of ourselves as possible, don't we? Robbie Earl, he looks good. Doesn't want it, all right. Sounds. I've put in one bid. Let's keep the stream going. We can imagine it's Ali McCoy getting finished every time. This is the day. Sign Boric. I don't think he's quite in this game. I wish he was. That would be good. Ruthless with Willie McStay. There was no chatting to him. And it's been a kind draw. And this is the playoff, basically, leg of the Champions League. And we've been drawn with Finnish Giants, FC Haka. We've got a relatively good chance, I think, guys, of making the group stage of the Champions League. And me, I'll go in goals. Won't get a ball by me. Feed the bear, putting his cell up to go in goals. Hakan Suker, quality player back in the day. He sure was. Is he as good as Mark Antony? I'm not sure, but, there was another player I was thinking of bringing in, because see if you filter it to interested. You'd be amazed how many of these... Well, imagine if we signed Le Sulk and Elka. Wow. Then there really would be protests, I think. He'd be good. Putting a bid for him, why not? Hakan Suker, you spoke of. It's not looking great. if I'm honest. I like to have as many DMCs as possible. Paul Kiley's joined us, superb. Sean Laird, Cherno, Samba. Could we bring Samba in? It's worth a shout. Daniel suggesting Adriano. He's quite hard to get, I think, because I don't think he gets a work permit. That's the problem. But he was quality at this period. I remember, Ambrosini upset. I think we'll bring him. Shall we bring in Massimo Ambrosini? I think that's box office. I'm so tight with the money, by the way. I wish I was like this in real life, but I'm not. Kaladze, he'd be good as well, wouldn't he? And look, you'll see a familiar face. Massimo Donati. Very highly rated player at one point. I think he was the most capped Italy under-21 international ever. Cost Milan £10 million. It was named Mug that we were signing when we got him. I tell thee. Kieran, Celtic in the Champions League, where we belong. I think it's about time we got back to having those sort of ambitions, don't you? We'll bring in Neil Scally as well. That's fine. You can have an assist bonus of 100 quid, mate. Come on, Ambrosini though. What do you think about that? Ambrosini would be box office. Maldini, Alex, if I could attract Maldini, then we would be laughing. What a player. He was one of my favourite defenders of all time, undoubtedly. That seems a fair wage to want Massimo, although I'll still haggle on the signing on fee. I knew who you meant, Alex. Don't you worry, my man. Kinkladze, him and Lubo. Kinkladze. Imagine him when he was like 23, 24. He was at Man City, wasn't he, when he was at his best? He's at Derby County now. And a shadow of the player that he used to be. What a shame. Tragic. I'm thinking someone in the attacking mid-roll to sort of rival Lubo, who's clearly, at 36, we can't really rely on him too much. Ryan Williams is a good player. Feed on your channel. What do you mean, Philip? He's saying the feed's only on YouTube tonight, mate. That's how we're going. The show on Monday was really just to showcase what we were doing. So it was reaching out more to folk, but I would rather just do everything on YouTube to start with, rather than doing it on loads of platforms and then trying to narrow it down at a later date. It doesn't really work, so I'm not going to do that. Pierre Fan comes in. Welcome along, mate. I've never seen your name in here before. I like it, though. He's saying Kaká, Michael Essien, or Landon Donovan. Kaká would be good, wouldn't he? He must be a young lad somewhere. Sao Paulo. We'll keep tabs on him, I think. You're absolutely right to suggest that. What's going on? Sorry, you're saying the chat's not working? The chat should be there. Live comments, they should be showing. I don't see any reason for them not to. I don't really get that myself. Can you see this? This is the joys of doing things on your own. Give me 2 seconds, I'll have a look. Can't get that theme song at my head now because I keep starting every show with it. It's music by my mate Brian Cattigan. Can't be that one you want. It's on Spotify. It's a tune, no. I just took his vocals out, which I wasn't trying to offend him with, Stephen McNulty says it's working fine. Pierre Fan says, Josie, look at this though for a couple of DMCs to come in. Neil Scally and Massimo Ambrosini. Now, Neil Scally might not be quite as box office, but Ambrosini, that's a tidy one, I think. Take a couple of the dead wood out. Boy, you don't need to be in there, son. And speaking of, Deadwood, bizarrely, from this era, my mate at work, Dave Mackay, he's a cream bun. And he gave me these wee figures. So I don't know if you can see that. That's Henrik Larsson. He said he had Celtic memorabilia. I was hoping for like a Lisbon Lions shirt, you know what I mean? But sadly it was figurines, but that'll do, eh? Don't break the streak, says Robert Laidlaw. You've got to be going for James McFadden. I mean, I think he's quite rubbish in this game, to be honest, but we can certainly bring him up on the screen for nostalgia's sake. Absolutely. There he is. He looks pretty rank. He's only 18, right enough. We'll add him to the shortlist, don't you worry. Just happened. It's working fine now, bro. Yes, feed. We'll even put that up. Happy days. Nice one, Kieran, mate. I'll get there, man. I'm trying to concentrate on 14,000 things at once. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. Right, I still want to say, oh, Mutu. I tell you what, if it's a party bus that we've got, Big Mutu would fit in all right, wouldn't he? You could invite him on the party bus anytime, man. I think you would have a whale of a time. Try and give a decent AMC. Someone who's going to get me some goals. Ugh, we'll worry about it later. Striker. Let's bring in a striker. Someone said Alan Shearer. I can't sell it. Oh, if we could get him, that would be good. We'll bid for him. Why not? Be bold. Breaking the transfer record already. That's what I'm trying to do. Rangers got an away win at Dundee. They've ramped the pressure up, guys. Ramped it up. I'm going to fire Henrik in there. Take out Lubo. Put in Mark Antony. And then I think you could play instead of Lambert, Ambrossini. Lambert's 31. Do you think we could get money for him? No, maybe. Let's see. Dortmund are showing a wee bit of interest. We'll find it. Right. How did Petter play last game? A 6, right? We'll do Steve Guppy. I can't remember who suggested that, but we'll do it. Van der Vaart says Pierre Fan, not the worst shout in the world. If we can attract someone like that, I'm open to doing so. Dimitri Karin, got to be the most random figurine ever to get off your Rangers supporting pallet working. Looks just like him. Right, here we go. We're at home now. My home debut. Scarfs aloft. I'll do everything I can to bring some success to this football club. I should have said that at the start of the show. Come on. Ali Day, says Chris Kerr. That was the guy Souness famously had signed, wasn't it? Ortega, what a player. Yeah, France 98 HTC King. He was outstanding. There's Henrik, yes. Stephen McNulty, I think we need a goalie. Yeah, you're probably right. Stephen Houston, what age are you, mate? What age do you think I am, Stephen? Have a guess. Have a wee guess and I'll tell you if you're right or not. We could be doing another goal though here. Come on. Henrik. See, dropping him in though. You know, dropping him in just in behind the front two, it's kind of worked. But at 1-0, you're never safe. Playing well though. Lots of 7s and 8s. Good to see. Big Bad John. $29, Stephen McNulty. You're now my favourite contributor, mate. Oh, no. I'm 34, buddy. 34. Still can't grow a beard. Mentally. Tragic, you could say. Mental age or physical, says Kieran. Yes, just joining, Bhoycie. You're going to make me play tonight. Yes, RB 1888. Love it, my man. Love it. Hibs were all right. A lot of the teams are actually all right, HTC. There's a lot of good players in the league at that time. Steve Guppy, has that experiment worked? He's done all right. But I think we need more. I'm going to fire Petrov up there. Bring on Momo as well for the crack. Take off Lennon. He'll be gubbed anyway. Right. All out attack. We can't drop more points, or I genuinely am. 38 says Feed the Bear. Jesus. Come on. No! No! Oh, no. This is going so bad. Stephen McNulty, I'm 56, still a dafty. Love it, mate. I love it. Me and Feed the Bear are falling out with that 38 comment. As are the Celtic fans. falling out with me. Robert Laidlaw's already in there, booing from the stands. Another display. We created loads. It's going to click. It's going to click. Trust the process. Trust the process. RB18, totally off topic. We don't mind off topic. Don't worry about that. All good. Barcelona. It's interesting. I think they need to beat Bayern Munich away from home or something, or was that tonight? I can't remember. But aye, interesting. The world's gone nuts with that. Daniel, I'm not going to bring that comment up. Paco Luna Phillips obviously making a mockery of the claim that Hibs had a decent squad. Newcastle, get away with that rubbish bid. We'll take that. Come on. It's tonight. They've been beaten 3-0. News just coming in. Yep. Barcelona beaten 3-0. Just listening to that. My earpiece coming through. What's that, Jeff? Fair enough. I mean, I think Barcelona have been declined for a couple of years now, haven't they? They were never going to beat Bayern away from home, I don't think. What happened with Hackson, mate? Did you fall out with JP? Not really. I mean, he gave his opinion on something. I gave mine back on something else, which I thought was, maybe it was a wee bit cutting, but I thought it was fair comment. The next thing you know, you're blocked, and it wasn't. It was a private conversation, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think he maybe he just didn't like confrontation very much. I mean, who does? I suppose negative energy and all that nonsense. But I mean, I think when you look at what, the last 11 months I was on it a lot, let's say. I think I was on it more than any other contributor, apart obviously from the guy who runs it. He's got his trophies, he's won his awards, viewing numbers did well. Yeah, I think he did all right out of us, and I did all right out of it. It's now your life goes on, as they say. It's not. I've got that. The only thing I don't like is I don't like the thought of being told, you can't say this and you can't say that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I get asked a question, I'll decide where the boundaries are of what I answer, not getting text messages suggesting him and other people, his guy above him, take defamation very seriously and stuff like that. I found that, see, when I got a message like that, I thought, oh, wait the new. I'm entitled to answer anything I see fit, as is he. And I'm not going to, it's not going to be through silly text messages like that I'll be muted or held silent on anything. Any question I don't decide to answer will be purely my decision. And I hope he's fully aware of that, shall we say. But we'll draw a line under it there. At the end of the day, like I say, I think they did all right to me, and I think I did all right out of it. And then, enough's enough. Eventually you just decide that, something's maybe going a trajectory you don't like, you don't see, maybe going a wee bit aloof, in my opinion, and you just go another way, and that's what happens. Shite happens. It's just a shame. I suppose it is, but I suppose it isn't as well, because I think I'm getting a lot more, well, I'm free to do, and, to do whatever I want now, so at least, it's all good. And yeah, Michael, I mean, to me, it's not a big taboo. I don't think, I'll not be, as I say, I'm not going to be held silence because of some silly text message I get sent, which, just I felt left a bad taste in the mouth. I was like, wow, you take it very seriously. Well, whoopie do, what you going to do? Give me a paper cut. It's entirely up to me what I say on my show, and it's entirely up to them what they say on theirs. I can take a run and jump if that's what they want to do, or it can be nicey. Put it this way, I didn't get many well wishes, I can assure you that, and that's absolutely fine. I've just cracked a can and it's gone everywhere. Kieran, mate, hate when that happens. It's a waste of good beer or cider, whatever it is you're drinking. Stephen, thanks for the information. You're free to do what you want any old time. Exactly. And it's a good song. But I think we'll live in a free world. There's no point in acting like, it's going to be a big lawsuit coming my way anytime soon. I highly doubt that. Let's smash Haka. Let's get a result. Come on, 17 shots on goal last match as well. Big Dolph. Oh, I know, mate. I take it you're talking about. Is that Yomi Albi you're talking about? I know. I might actually try and include him. He's never done that well for me in the game. Oh my God, we're conceding goals to Haka. I think that's a good point, Michael. Who's the loser here? No one. This cannot be happening. What's going on? I feel like I'm cursed. I'm usually brilliant at this game. I've won 2 world titles at this game, believe it or not. It's called the Super League. There was like 8 folk for England. There was someone from Norway, someone from Brazil, someone from Ireland, someone in America. I beat them all in a Super League round robin format. And I think I've lost my touch. Daniel, you should do pre and post match reviews a lot. It's an interesting one, Daniel, because I think, whilst I think it's territory that I wouldn't be afraid to go down by any stretch of the imagination, the problem would be if people were beginning to enjoy that content, I kind of commit to doing every Saturday, mate, because I actually work a Saturday, unfortunately. So it's quite tricky to try and juggle. Like, you would only be able to sort of do maybe the midweek games, and that would, or maybe do like the odd Sunday game, but it might be more sporadic then. But I think what we could look to do would be certainly on match day, do like, oh my God, this cannot be happening, is do like a review or maybe a post-match, maybe a wee bit later, not straight in after it. I think we could do something like that. Absolute disaster here. What is going on? Neither of you keep her straight away. I can't believe how bad this is going, honestly. Whose idea was it to do a championship match? I thought, folk are going to love this, because they're going to see goals. We're heading out to FC Haka. We've not won a match in the league, and we're 45 minutes into the stream. Oh, Bosnich, he'd be good on a night out. Take Matt Bosnich for the night suit. Sebastian Frey, Robert Laidlaw, calm, sensible head. Whether we can get Frey at this stage of the game, I'm not sure. That's my biggest issue with that. Sometimes you need to sort of do a patchwork job the first season, and then if you do well, no, that's looking likely for us. You can get other ones. HTC says the 4-1-3-2 might be a formation. It might be, but it's not normally how I play. I'll be completely honest to you. I normally play like this and win. So I might be guilty of being a wee bit stubborn like Ange now, and playing my way for now. But yeah, I might need to listen to that, of course. Bad crack from bring back John Barnes. That's the quote of the night from Stephen McNulty. Love that. Right, what can we do next? Who have we got next? St Johnstone away. Suddenly even McDermott Park sounds difficult. Right, let's bring in Scottish prodigy Mark Kerr, see what he can do for the midfield. Jeez, oh. I haven't played computers for years, Ross. I would still be here supporting you, even if you were playing Paperboy at the old Spectrum. Remember that game? I remember playing it as a Master System I played it on. You are clicking buttons at about 10 times the speed I do. I know, mate. I've played the game for too long, man. I've played it for too long. I do want him, though. I do want him. I want another coach, because the last one said no, which isn't good. I like the Italian coaches. They tend to be good. You've put that song in my head. Love me, hold me, I'm free. He looks good. He can come in. You can do a job, son. Big Maurizio. Are you going to get guests in, brother? Yeah, we start double down, I should say, on Saturday. I've got my brother in on Saturday. I've got a brother, believe it or not. He's 29, Jonathan. Great lad. He's going to do the first week because it might just be a bit of a car crash. You know what I mean? As I'm trying to get used to doing everything. And I just think it'd be safer if I do it with something like that. And then after that, we'll be getting guests in from, you've got, you know, sort of maybe a bit of influence on Twitter, things like that, you know, in the Celtic sphere. Might be able to get a musical guest on. I might be able to get quite a big name on that I know of, a couple of big names, in fact, that are murmured to be interested, but we'll take it 1 week at a time. I might just get fans on, you know, folk who watch the show, and keep it real that way. I think there's a lot of talk us through your career, mate. Oh, what was that game like? Oh, do you remember that? Oh, do you remember, you know, who was the best player you played with? I mean, we've heard that a million times now. Sometimes you just want to hear a different perspective on the football and, you know, cut that filter out it as well. You know what I mean? Where we can, you know, we can chew the fat after. I think that's one of the reasons, for example, I think the Four Tims in a Pod has done really well. I think people have enjoyed the fact that, you know, it does sound, they kind of speak in a sort of manner that we all can relate to, you know, and it's kind of, it's that, as I say, unfiltered sort of style. So I might just get people to come on. Jonathan's a good guy, says Alfred. Yeah, you've met him, mate. Absolutely. We might need your bro to take over as interim manager yet. Well, that's true. Believe you me, this isn't getting any better. Even Neil Lennon's been ranked. What's going on? My cat's doing all right. Guppy, not convinced with you. I'm going to bring back Petter. Stick with my gut. I don't know why, though, because I've got everything else wrong so far. Play Anthony in there. Henrik Sutton. Right, come on. What time are you on Saturday, pal? We'll be targeting 8 o'clock, Alex. I know a lot of people have social life, so we'll go out 8 at night. I finish work at 6, so it gives me a couple of hours to sort of get my stuff together. Aye, maybe 8, half 8. I'll certainly let you all know in advance. And we'll do a wee quiz at the end called Double Down, which is nearly finished in my mind how it's going to work out, but it's quite cool because it uses all the wee catchphrases I had when I was on the other pub, like you can flip it, you can back down, you can double down, you get more points for doubling down, less points for flipping it or backing down and stuff like that. It'll all work, and it'll be like a Celtic-based quiz, and the questions are going to get harder as we go. So that means, you know, if you double down, you'll get double points. But obviously, like, if you know, if you double down the easier question, it's less points. It could be towards your total. It'll be quite a cool wee format that we come up with. What up, Bhoycie says Studio Riley. Yes, mate. Good to see you, pal. Hope you're well. How, Stephen? You let that go, mate. That's why that music show we don't speak of is so good. Proper people being everyday people. I think that's it. That's what people relate to, isn't it? Just, you know, I don't need to talk about. I think you want the football debate to be of a certain level, but I think it's good to be a wee bit real as well and just break it down in simple terms. Kel says CMO 102 Legends. The final looks like we might get 3 points, although the fans seem a wee bit nonplussed by the fact we're winning right now. They're raging when we get beat. What is going on? Who was the AMC you're referring to, Philip DeMarco? I must have missed that comment, mate. Michael, I know, man. I took about an hour to load. Yeah, that game. Oh, mad. I never really played one of those consoles, I've got to be honest. I would love to, though. Stephen Houston, folk that go to the games. No. I'm meaning like in the comments section, the virtual crowd, Stephen, the virtual crowd, mate. I was getting pelters when I was getting beat, and now everyone's went quiet when I'm winning. Oh, Alex, I wouldn't worry about that, mate. You can catch it up on the Sunday, mate. That's all good. That is all good, my man. I wouldn't have you missing your Christmas party. Too much swatly and nonsense to be having. Oh, D'Alessandro, you're talking about, DeMarco. He plays for River, I think. I know what you mean. Well, it's been unspectacular, but I'll take it anyway. We can get 3 points. Although, if you look at all the 8 out of 10 ratings there, That's not bad, I would say. Of course, I'm trying to spin it as much as I can to tell you to trust the process. Trust the process. Stephen Eustace says you're getting sacked in the morning. Sacked in the morning. I might, mate. I might. But first win gives us confidence going into, we must batter Hacker now. Rangers drop points as well. It's off. We're still in this. Only 3 points off Hearts at the top. Daniel with a really, really interesting question. I'll put this out to the chat. What league drinks better, SPL or the MLS? I think the better two sides in the SPL are more than capable of winning the MLS. I think the mid-table, the top six, maybe like, I think right now, Hibs, despite their rubbish run, Aberdeen, if they get their shit sorted, Hearts, I think they would all compete at MLS level. I don't think they get relegated necessarily. And then the rest, I think probably the MLS probably has more strength and depth, if that makes sense, mate. Tricky question, that. Paul Kelly, Russell, please don't replace Ange. No, don't worry about that, mate. We're going to do nostalgia trips of being the Celtic boss. See, in fairness, I'll replace Martin O'Neill, which I actually think is worse than replacing Ange. Gizo, the 128 with the joint on tape player. Memories. Yeah, that is just before my time, Michael, and Feed the Bear. I've never played one of those consoles. The Master System, I think, was my first. Was it an Omega? Was it Omega Sound? My first sort of very, very first memories. Daniel Montenegro. Don't think so. I think I'd remember a name like that. Right. Goalkeepers. Rob Douglas, you're not going to do. Right, there is one that we could just sign for easiness right now. He's always a good signing in this game. Well, he tends to be. Sheetus, he's got good ratings. Bit of a Champman legend, you could say. MLS playing warmer weather. How would the Yanks cope with the rain pelting down them down them sideways? Again, it's an interesting take on it. Can you really make that comparison, though? When it doesn't exist. I mean, I suppose, would you still have the same players playing for the MLS sides if it meant playing in sideways rain? You're off, Stephen. Enjoying the show. See you Saturday evening. No, thank you for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Nice one, man. Daniel Montenegro. I think you guys have got the wrong game. I don't remember a Daniel Montenegro. Oh, there is. On loan from Marseille. See, there you go. Good memory, guys. Never heard of him. Wim Janssen got his first win versus St Johnstone. Moan then, says Robert Laidlaw. Robert, that's the sort of optimism I need. Don't get me started on the Amiga. Kickoff 2. Let's think of players that are listed. There must be some decent transfer listed players. No, not really. Okay. Danny at Barcelona, he would be good. 2 months out though with an injury. Oh, bad timing. What about another former Celtic player? Oh, he's gone already. He was a foldable as well. Dear, oh dear. It's good to get the first 3 points. I feel a lot better about that, Scottish football's far superior tactics-wise for you. I think that's a fair point. I actually think the tactics in the SPFLs went. Would you say it's went up a notch recently? I think it maybe there's an argument that it has. Ida Good Johnston, he'd be a tasty signing, wouldn't he? I think the league campaign started though yet. So, Riquelme's wanted by Leeds. Could you imagine if we had Juan Roman Riquelme? What a player he was he not? Some man boy say, cheers, mate. I don't know if that's said while it's rolling your eyes or not, but I'll take it anyway. Romagnoli. Do it, says Philip DeMarco. I mean, who am I to argue with this sort of logic from Big Philip Right, let's have a look. Which one? Oh, San Lorenzo, you're saying. He's not got a second nationality, so I'm not going to get a work permit for him, though. I'll add him, though, don't you worry. He can be added to the ever-growing list. Of course, at River Plate, they've got D'Alessandro. I think he played for Portsmouth in real life eventually. Interesting feed. So the retro games consoles, you made a wee bit, did you? That's quite interesting. The retro stuff all kind of is coming back, a lot of the stuff like that. I mean, in lockdown, I managed to get an app where you could like play like 1,000 games just on my TV. Just an app. It was mad. And I had like 3,000 games, like some of them the Amiga, some the old Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, etc. It was good fun. Right, we'll make this the last game of the stream. I think that's just after 10 o'clock. The rules are there are no rules, obviously. I mean, we can stay playing till whenever. I don't really care, but I think an hour's ample time if people are ever going to catch up. Aye, feed it is. It's mad, but it just shows you. I mean, everything comes back around, and I just think there's a novelty of playing games like left to right as well, kind of like the old Sega and Nintendo, and that's just, I don't know, there's something easy about it, isn't there? Robinho, Chris, I don't think he's in the game yet, mate. I don't think. No Robinho as of yet, although he was probably on his way at that point to, causing some waves. Yeah, I mean, I'll be playing 8. Whoever it was that suggested get Big Dolph back in, they were right. I doff my cap to you. How did Petrov play? Petrov's doing all right. He could do better, though. Will we go with the same team? We'll go with the same team. Robert Yarney's a free transfer at the start, Philip, and I don't think he's going to get the left and packed with players, man. Jardel's a great shot. Anthony, my boy. Trust the process, lads. Trust the process. Mario Jardel's a great shot. Probably unaffordable for me, but he's amazing in this game. Phew. He's a great player. Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he a free transfer at the start on this? It's a 16-year-old. I think he might be. We'll look that up. Oh, my new signings finally from the Scottish Lower League's coming good. This is what we want. Big Rab, excellent with the ball at his feet. Give him a chance. Oh, Rab Douglas, great with the ball at his feet. That is outstanding. Oh, finally. Bhoycie ball. Well, aren't you entertained now? Get in there. Much more like it, innit? Right. Decisions. A great display, though, so far. Just checking the fitness, everyone. On comes Neil Scally for his debut. Another uninspired signing, let's be honest. Alan Thompson, what can he do at left wing back as well? Why not? Much more like it, though, eh? De La Pena, brilliant. Yeah, I've not loaded the Portuguese Liga. Oh, 6! So, Scots, I never doubted you. Aye, you did, you. You did so, you naughty monkey. I bet you did. All good, though. I think, that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with a 10 out of 10. We're just getting in the swing of it now as well. Mark Kerr, that was superb. Well played, young man. I used to always love doing this. Seeing I played the game when I was young. I don't know why. So you click on Mark Antony, then you go to his value and see if it would go up if they played well. Obviously, it's not happening for anyone right now because everything I've tried to do so far tonight's been a disaster, but it does happen in the bigger games. Shall we play the hack a second leg? We'll play the hack a second leg, right? Put the paints away. No banners needed for Bhoycie just yet. You know it, Kieran. Back in favour. I'm back in the room, man. Back in the room. That was a good win, though. outstanding performance, can have your autograph. I don't think I'm quite in that territory. I'm just gonna focus on getting back on the bus in one piece. Yeah, we'll play the second leg against Haka and we'll call it a night. Let's see if we're going to have Champions League group football to talk about in the next stream. Mate, you need to get on to the FIFA. My PlayStation's is with the other lot, and where their studio is a mission for me to go get it because I don't drive. But I might go get it. Well, it's a PS4 though. But FIFA streaming was something I've considered as well. I'm sorry, Hugh, mate. It was explicitly clear it was a 9 o'clock start though. I do apologise. Some people come in on different times and all that. It's going to happen. You can always catch up as soon as the stream's finished. In fact, even the new night you can rewind to the start, even on the live one. So nothing overly to worry about there, mate. Right, let's do this. We've got to just get the result again, don't we? We've just got to do it. Right. Last game. How did Petrov play? I mean, they were outstanding last match. You can't make any changes to that team, really, can you? Got to get the boy to sleep. Well, I know that, mate. I totally understand that. Unfortunately, though, I've got to put the streams out at some sort of time. And yeah, just because of work and stuff for me as well, this time makes sense. Right, let's get Lubo on the bench, see what he can do if needed. Hibs got beat tonight and ended the game with 9 men. Their manager is under pressure. Wow. Was Porteous sent off? I wonder. And CMO 102 Legends with a great point there. Understanding the joy of winning 6-0 in Champ Manager is undescribable. So true. It makes you want to keep on going. So it won't be Friday, Feed the Bear. It'll be Saturday night. And we're going to do Double Doon. And that's just going to be a sort of Celtic chat with a guest. This week it's going to be my brother. We're going to do a wee quiz at the end called Double Doon, which I think could be a wee bit fun. We'll get a leaderboard created where whatever guests have been on sort of compete for the top spot. So I've got a wee point system in my head as well that I've thought of on how to work out what everyone scored. So I've been predominantly football chat, and then at the end we might play a song by an unsigned band with their permission. Let you hear it, see what you think of it, and that'll play out the sort of show. I'll do a wee bit of build up for it. I'll do a wee bit of research on it as well before we play the track. And that sounds to me like an all right wee format and incorporates wee bits that I've been involved in the past, but obviously will be done in the unique style of the Bhoycie bus. Quality stream, Rusty. Enjoyed it, mate. Keep it up. Right, last game. We're at home AFC Haka. We need to win 2-0 or more, or we're going to be in the UEFA Cup because of that disastrous result in Finland. Let's see what happens. Take care, Michael, mate. Thanks again. It's a goal. They're down to 10 men. Oh, they had a penalty shot. I think disallowed that. Come on. Oh, yeah, it'll be this Saturday, mate. Hugh. So, yep, it'll be me and my brother on from about half eight on Saturday night. We don't need to set exact times at this stage, do we? True now, we go through at this stage. If Hackers score, though, we're out. It's getting a wee bit squeaky bum time. As was it Alex Ferguson who coined that phrase? It's a funny phrase, anyway. Come on, let's get another one. Oh. Need another goal. I agree. Saturday night takeaway. A herbal pizza is then. No! No! We're out! Oh. Phew. You put the kiss of death on it. And Popovich. Well, he has done well for them, hasn't he? He looks a good player, to be fair. I've never heard of him in my life. Celtic stunned in Europe. Stunned. We crash out of the Champions League in the playoff stage. Now, does that sound familiar to you? I am devastated with that. Absolutely gutted. A dreadful start. We've got Dundee away next. I'm going to do some tweaking with the squad off air. Get some players on the transfer list. Don't want to bore you. Robert, I'm glad you enjoyed, mate. I'll see you Saturday night. Thanks to everyone who's joined, as always. Thanks to everyone who's hit the subscribe button. It is just down. Is it that side? That side? One of the sides. If you did get a chance to hit subscribe, brilliant. I know loads of you have, if not all of you already have anyway, so I can't thank you enough for that. I think we're over 600 now, which is just madness. The bus is luckily big enough for that. Do give us a wee follow on Twitter if you want to stay up with all the promoting that I'll be doing. And all I've got to say is a very good night. Thanks again for joining the Bhoycie bus. And aye, we'll see you all soon. Cheers again. Bye.